everyone, join me as I make these. I turned a bad mojo day into a good one the next day. Hang on, there's 2 parts, and as usual, the colors I use in the project are at the end of the video. Hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can get part A and part B. Later. Hey everyone. Okay, so it's the next day. This guy is all nice and cured. However, I mean, some of the areas in here turned out really interesting. Let's see if I can get to focus on some of the spots. Really interesting. But, I don't know. I think my resin mojo was not on track yesterday. So, I'm going to show you a little bit about how I continue to work with a piece and try to go to the next level so that I'm really happy with it. Another thing is, it's not uncommon for me to, if you want to call it, doctor it up, change up a color. I rarely go with colors just straight out of the jar. This is Black Currant from Color Obsession, and it's a super, I don't know if you can see the edges of this, and it's a super rich, kind of a grape purple, like, you know, grape color. And what I've done is I've added a little bit of liquid fire and this Bling It color from Resin Art, and it has, this one has a little tinge of violet to it. I don't know if you can see right here on the corner, it's an interface color, and this is one too. So it'll play with the light a little bit. And if you notice, let's see if I can get the color up close. Let's see. It didn't change it a whole lot. It's still really grapey as far as, new term, grapey, grapey in color. But it's got a little bit of a bling to it. It's got a little bit of shift in there with it, both of these 2 products here. So we'll see how that works out. And I mixed up a batch of bright gold and some white from Stone Coat. And we're going to create a layer of cells over top and let this base, all this base show through the cells. So we're going for, I guess the plan is to go for maximum cells. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. See if my mojo is working a little bit better. Words might not be, but hopefully the mojo will. So, here we go. Uh-oh, there's a bug flying around in here. Crap. Summertime. Here's a helpful hint. If you're pouring inside a house or even a garage and you're worried that there might be some bugs in there, or you've actually seen some bugs, you can't get rid of them, you can't put your piece in a completely closed-in space, or you just need that extra protection, I go and I turn on my bathroom light, which is in the other room of my particular studio, or a light that's far away from my piece. The bugs are naturally drawn to the light and will go away from the sticky stuff. And it has helped out. It's not foolproof, but it has helped out. I do have a little bit of an enclosed space that I can put my pieces in, and it helps out with the little guys. But when it comes to the big ones, I still need to do a box over my piece. And that's when you're the most nervous, you know, with the bugs and stuff. And being in Texas in summertime, well, and in the country, I'm gonna have some bugs. I'm not entirely sure why I'm wiping the sides. I think it's more of a matter of habit. Okay. Got my first layer down. Clean off my hands. Let's see. try and go this direction and do a diagonal fashion. I think that might work out nicely. All right, I want to sprinkle in some gold because gold goes a long way. And then I've got my stone coat white base mixed in, but I do have a white paste in here too. So it may put a nice webbing of white in there as well. It's all theories when it comes to resin, right? All right, let me get my cup ready. All right, what I'm going to do with this little edge here is I'm going to give it a little bit of a blow to go that direction. And actually, maybe even change direction right here. Okay. Let's see. It's starting to do definitely cell definition here. I'm going to go ahead and lay in some white and a little bit more gold, and I'm going to blow it that way to get this kind of effect going this direction. I don't know, it just feels like I should do that. But this time I'm going to draw on my line. A skinny one there. A tiny bit of gold. Let me go ahead and apply a couple little lines here. Just wanted to blend in a little bit. When do you start? When do you stop? When do you keep going? Okay, here we go. I'm trying to do is get just enough on my stick that I can actually draw with my lines and kind of flow along the pathways that are going along. But yes, much happier with that. Yay. I'll clean off my hands and bring you in for a close-up. Here we go. Oop, y'all didn't see that in the background, did you? Ha. All right. So we got a lot of good cell definition there. We got the background showing through. Gives a nice drama to it. Nice softness there with that blend. I'll probably get a couple surprise cells in there or something like that. There's a couple little surprise cells. I like it mixed up where it's sometimes you get cells, sometimes you get those nice blends. So much, much better. Mucho happy. Hi everyone. Okay, this is day 2 of this particular piece. I poured a bunch on one day and my resin mojo was off a little bit. So I'm gonna, not quite happy with this. It's got some nice activity in here. But actually, to be honest with you, it looks like somebody printed it and it was off kilter. It wouldn't register just right. I don't know, it's not talking to me. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it. So we're gonna work with the second layer, play with our possibilities of depth, added depth to it. So I'm gonna do a clear coat. I've got a nice strong diagonal line here that I see, and I want to play off of that. So I think I'm going to put in a good line of purple in here and have it blend out on both directions and see what happens. So I may put in a little bit stronger of gold in this one as well. So here we go. Oh, did I just stick it in the cup? I sure did. I didn't even do that. I try to keep my stick clean here for my clear. I'll put it on the side there. But I also have kind of like a dirty cup. So if I'm doing any swiping with spatulas or just have some extra drippage, I can have some to wipe the excess resin off and still keep it. Makes it easier for pouring in the molds for later. All right, so I've already got my size resin, so I'm not gonna worry about covering my size. I'm just gonna cover my top on here. I usually just put clear coats on the sides anyway, and if color falls over, it falls over. But at least it's got at least one coating of resin, so it's like, kind of like a nice, healthy dosage of it, like polyurethane, you know, that kind of thing, where you finish off the wood real well. All right. I don't know about you, but I like to keep my hands clean when I'm working with different colors and stuff so I don't contaminate it with my own stuff. All right. And I recommend always, if you're going to pour a line, start off on the edge and go from edge to edge, especially if you want it to go off the edge. In other words, if you start pouring here, most likely you might have that little spot that hadn't, kind of like this, that hadn't gone over yet. So the good rule of thumb is to go off the edge and back on. Okay, I don't think I can pour and talk at the same time. Let me try this again. Go from edge to the other edge. There we go. All right. Yeah, that was a lot more weight than I wanted to on that one. But let's see what happens. Okay, my white again has the Stone Coat base tint in there, but it also has the addition of a white paste in there to bump up the brightness. Only need a little bit of the base tint to help with the effect of the cells. In fact, less is better. Okay, so I'm gonna go from the middle out this time on both sides. At least that's the theory anyway. And yeah, I kind of almost always hold my breath before I swipe. Do you guys hold your breath? All right. Let me rotate this around. For me, having that natural movement with my hands is more important. And I'd rather move the canvas around so that I can go this direction smoother than trying to go the way it won't go. In other words, it's easier for me to go like this and do this side really pretty than to go like this. This side might be a little clunkier. However, I'm doing the gesture rather smooth, but all right, let's see. This is gonna be one large swipe, basically. I kind of want to see what happens. This is looking really, really interesting. I don't necessarily want this all over. If I keep some of this blend, that would make me really happy. And I think I will have a section of it definitely within here, because the white goes from here out. Let me hit it with a little bit of heat gun. Now my other concern is if it is all cells, big diagonal line, is that gonna look good? Because I also like, see this wave motion here? I don't usually do a lot of gold in my pieces, or let's see if I can connect those lines. That will work. I'm gonna draw that one through. There we go. There's that question of when do you stop? Clearly, I'm not ready to stop yet. I'm almost kind of shadowing the lines here. All right. Okay, that's looking kind of interesting. That's going to be a surprise. Boy, it's going to be one of those things that makes me want to get up early in the morning and check out my piece. what's gonna happen? All right, let me clean off my paws. I'll bring you in for a close-up. I think my mojo's a little bit better today. And we're gonna go in a diamond fashion here. My lights are really bright today. There we go. I really like the purple with the gold line. Well, it's interesting how the cells are developing under the lines. Like that one cell is, the line has split it. I wonder if it split it while I was drawing, meaning it was already there and I'd already drawn a line over it. I don't know. There's a little bit of cells popping up right in that middle zone. We'll have to see. Okay, until tomorrow, I'll give you an update. Bye. Hi everyone, it's Clara Lawrence again. Okay, so this is day 2. Oop, I already got some resin on this. This was the dirty pour one. And you can't see any yellows in there at all. But I have yet to succeed with a resin dirty pour yet. I really, really like the colors in here. I kind of like some of the soft lines going on. But overall, I mean, if I were to grade it, I'd say C for myself. Not real happy with it. So, we're gonna work with a second layer, see what we can do. Emphasis on this. Bring this down, bring this up through the cells. So create intentional cells to bring the color up again. Now, I had 4 pours total that I did yesterday. And as I've been saying, my resin mojo wasn't intact yesterday. So we've got some gold, some purple, and some white that I'm working with. And I might actually incorporate some clear in here intentionally to see if I can pull this up. So that'll be a little bit different. And the purple with a lot of gold turned out surprisingly well on another pour. I might try and do that intentionally, have it heavy over here, come over here, and maybe play with this almost like reverse. I don't know what you want to call it. It kind of looks like an octopus, kind of like if it was zoomed in, the tentacles coming out. So kind of reverse, going out that way. I don't know if I'm making sense. Well, let's just try. Okay. So I'm going to do a diagonal again here, and that way I can work from this corner to this corner and have kind of a plane. So here we go. And this is kind of part of the creative process. A lot of times it's planning things out. Some of the times it's what the piece is kind of trying to talk to you about. In other words, this piece is telling me I want to be a little brighter. I don't want to be, you know, I want that to be the star a lot more. I want this to kind of go away. So that's what I'm gonna do. Guess I'm already feeling good about this because I'm doing my silly voices. Let's see. I almost forgot a little section there. I'm not resining my sides, which I normally do, and that's only because I did those yesterday. So it has a nice clear coat on the sides, and that's all I want. So that way it looks finished. And I don't have a problem if color drips down or not. That's kind of part of the process. But I want the wood at least covered. All right, so. And I need to be saying this a little bit more often, but as per normal, at the end of my videos, if I'm doing any type of color work, I will put the products I use at the end of the video. So if you're interested in any of the colors, you can check that out. All right, I'm going heavy with the gold again, which usually is a no-no because gold takes over. However, I got this one piece here that is next to me that you can't see, that I went heavy with the gold, and with the combination with that and the purple, it was happy. It liked it. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit more purple here just so I can cover that corner. Just a little bit. There we go. All right, now I need to clean off my spatula a little bit. So I use this silicone spatula. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the first part of the video. It makes for cleanup a whole lot easier. Ooh, I'm gonna heat it up. So what do you guys do when you're starting to feel your creative mojo going on? I mean, when you're in a good mode and things are moving really well for you, what do you do? I mean, I will talk silly. I'll be almost kind of doing my happy dance around the studio. I'll also will have the tunes cranked up, but since I'm doing a YouTube video, I really can't do that without getting into copyright troubles. So we'll have to crank up the tunes later. I kind of like that popping out there. Just showing enough. All right, covered it up a little bit more. I'm picking up a little bit of the purple down here, and I'm gonna just wipe it across there. So since I added white to it, I can swipe it across again. It's almost like it's mixing it a little bit. And now I'll create a little bit of cells over there too. Just a little bit. All right. I like the bold gold lines going here. I'd like to connect this side to this side. So I think I might put in some gold lines that go all the way across. Not interfere with those, but maybe add to them. Not a lot of like thick lines, just some thin ones. Ooh, my line work is working well. Oh, I said something. There we go. All right, one last one. All right, I'll let that be. See what happens. Let me bring you in for a close-up. Oop, I gotta clean the paws again. Have you guys gotten resin on your camera yet? I know one day it's gonna happen. All right, here we go. That's already looking pretty cool. I like how there's a lot of dimension with that. Color gets me really excited with art, but I have to admit that one of the properties about resin is sure it can hold on to that color, but the other part is just playing with dimension and almost like the illusion of. All right, let's see what this guy looks like tomorrow morning. See you later. You. And I think in this case, I definitely had a direction going from this side to this side. And I think I'm still gonna try and do the same thing. So it may end up with a lot of color over here and then still get wispy at the end. I don't know. we'll see. Sometimes that's all you can do is see, and the more you practice with the resin and the material and stuff, and the more you get to know how far you can push it, you can kind of plan, but a lot of times it can surprise you. I get surprised all the time. Scrape that off in that cup. All right, clean off the paws here. Hit that with the heat gun. Not worried about getting the sides this time because I already did that on the first coat. So let's see, what are we gonna do? I've got a purple mix up, I've got a gold mixed up, and I've got a white mixed up. And I've used those on my other two pieces to get them up. And I was heavy on the purple. I think I kind of want to go not as heavy on, I'm still going to use purple, but I don't think I'm going to go as heavy. But I think I'll go heavier on the white and the gold. I don't know, let's see. So, here we go. All right, I'm gonna have a nice purple edge. And some of that might run off, and I'm okay with that. And I usually don't go heavy with gold, so this is a little bit different for me. As we know, gold likes to take over. So maybe we'll let the gold shine a little bit. That looks like almost equal to distribution of all three colors. A little bit of heat. Clean off my spatula a little bit from the previous pour. Clean off my spatula a lot of it. Okay. So again, what I said before is I was going to move this direction. So here goes. Okay, I didn't grab the whole thing. Looks mighty pretty on the spatula. All right, let's try this. I'm going to do a little wave in this section. Just something to add a little movement. I'm curious. All right, I'm going to pick up a little bit of purple here that has dripped down. Just kind of let it flow. Okay, yeah, you just can't help but touch it. I'm also going to bring a little bit over in this middle section. Yep, so much for the plan of it going straight in the one way. Come on, keep the consistency. There we go. stopping. Must stop. Yeah, I just said that must stop and I'm still doing it. There we go. If you pick up if you have to run some color through and you pick up a little bit of white with your color, you can still create some cells when you drag it across. Kind of watching it, seeing what it's doing. A lot of this stuff is picking up. It's a little bit light right there, which I'm totally fine with. A little bit of heat just to encourage the cells. Mainly because I'm impatient and I want to see what's happening. Okay, this area actually looks really, really interesting. There's a lot of texture in there. I don't know if I'm going to see a whole lot of my underside. I'll get a little bit of it in here, a little bit in there. A little bit in there. So we'll see. I'm going to clean off my hands and I'm bringing in. Hang on, here goes the ride. Okay, so already it has a lot more drama to it, and I like the drama. I kind of like the softness of that. That's kind of interesting. And the more gold definitely was a real cool choice there. See what I mean by some texture, almost a well, it does look metallic. It's a gold metallic. It definitely has that metal type of effect. Kind of like the brushiness. I have to play with that a little bit more. All right, let's see how this puppy cures up. And I'll see you tomorrow.